And welcome. Yeah, we're talking about the intro, the cornfield that I was filming. I literally gave it a little bit of a intriguing filter and slowed down the actual footage to make it a little bit more ominous. And it doesn't have to. It doesn't really need anything to be ominous. I mean, walking through that cornfield at night or even in low light is ominous enough. But sadly, it's gone. Just ground now, just dirt. See, the people who owned it before, they would they would still be farming on it. I mean, they own the land, but they would actually pay somebody to farm it. So there was crops, like I said, crops one year, like cornfield one year, and soybeans the next. The soybeans only to enrich the soil for the corn. And it's really, really sad because now that it's been sold to the city, they do fuck all. And there's surveyors on it, they're surveying it. And basically, what I'm assuming, or what the rumor is it's going to be mixed low income housing and industrial. So commercial use. So commercial use on the south side and the north side, all low income housing. Sad. But you know what? I'm surprised it lasted this long. I mean, I've been living out this way for about 20 years now. And I've been lucky to, been able to explore it for, you know, the time I've been able to. And let me tell you, it's not huge, it's not big, but what's intriguing is the backstory behind it. The history of it. And like I said, I don't want to disclose the people who owned it because the people who owned it before have a nefarious sort of background. There's no lack of space in Canada. No, not so ever. I mean, along the border with the US, there is. I mean, that's where they're building everything is. But and yeah, in this area, there it's kind of getting packed. But we have to thank the government for opening the floodgates to immigration, and things have gotten fucking out of hand. So, anyways, I'm not going to go down that route, that path. I'll leave it to the people who deal with that to go down that route. It's really not worth it, but it's a pain in the ass, to be honest. It really is. It really is. And not so much the floodgates of immigration, but the temp workers that they're allowing into the country is insanely um, corrupt, if you will. There's way too many people from other countries that are taking these jobs from people who live here. And well, let's be honest. I mean, a lot of people here don't want to take the jobs, but I'll tell you right now, they don't take they don't want to take the jobs. But I'll tell you now, they will now because I mean, unemployment is reaching absurd levels. The economy is halting to well, screeching to a halt, if you will. And we're kind of seeing the backlash of COVID and the lockdowns and the supply shortages and the hoarding that most people were, attributing to during the lockdowns, namely toilet paper. Come on, how much fucking toilet paper do you need? Wipe your ass with your fucking hand or get a bidet. But out of all seriousness, it's really impeding. I mean, I have no problems with people who want to come to this country and make a life for themselves. You know, by all means, there's lots of space here for you. But there's a lot that just don't want to like sort of contribute. They just come here, suck on the fucking unemployment, the welfare, and all these handouts, putting a strain on the system. Hey, Swedish chef, how are you? Duvet days. I don't know. Was that Sears? I don't know. Was that Sears or Bay? I don't know. One of the two. If it was Sears, no, they're long gone now. Sears is gone. The Bay is in trouble. So I don't know. Duvet days. Holy crap. You know more about Canada than I do, Tom. But it's really sad. It's really, really sad. But anyways, I don't want to go down that route. That's not why I'm on. I figured I'd pop in here and chat for probably go for a couple hours anyways, and about whatever, literally opening, keeping this thing open. Yeah. I dropped a sort of sneak peek of the fourth episode of the Dark Woodlot. Just hold on a second. Hey, Adrian, how are you? And that's going to be popping up probably maybe next week. Next week, possibly, probably Thursday, maybe Thursday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, as it has been over the past few weeks that I've dropped a new episode. And again, the last episode was kind of a filler, kind of just moving things along and filling stuff up. The next episode um, will be kind of bringing some of the discoveries into to play, what we've kind of discovered um, during our time there. And again, this coming fall, we are going to be shooting probably. I'm guessing 3 or 4 new episodes, and we're going to close. We're going to be closing out the series because it looks like, like I said, the location will no longer be there after this fall. So, and speaking of fall, it's uh it's almost here. I mean, September 22nd, but to me, the fall kicks in September 1st. September 1st, the fall kicks in. I go into fall mode. I love the fall. It's my favorite time of the year. Hey, Tim, how are you? Good to see you, buddy. I love the fall for many several different reasons, and of course, the main one being Halloween. I'm a big Halloween guy. I decorate my house to the nines, and I will show you the new display, of course, when it's up and ready in October. I take several weeks off for holidays, travel to several places just to really get a feel for, the changing of the season, because I mean, literally things start to change in late September. Yeah, and it's really a shame because I think you guys really enjoy it there. And I love, I get myself in a mode, but I really get into the feel of things when the actual environment around you is changing as harvest kicks in. They're harvesting the last crops of the season. Death is all around us. Things are dying. Yes, dying, dying. And when you look at the sort of the pagan sort of aspects of of harvest and the fall. So yeah, my favorite time of the year. Uh, and Of course, not to forget, the new season of Nocturnal Frequency Radio kicks in September 8th. So not this Sunday, but next Sunday, our first episode is going to be going live. And I'm looking forward to it. I've been talking to some new people on for guests. We're looking. That's what we're looking for. We're looking for new people, and people that maybe a lot of you people know. A lot of you listeners know. And don't forget to give us recommendations. Leave a comment in the show comments after this. If you have any recommendations or whatever suggestions for a guest that you'd like to see on the show, or a topic, or whatever else, then by all means, leave them in the comments. Leave comments, even if they're bad. Who cares? It's to be expected. But hold on, let me just see here. And, but yeah, it's to be expected, and that's fine. That's absolutely fine. So our first episode coming September 8th, we're going to have Dustin Wade, of the owner of the Wade Manor, is going to be on to talk about several things, including the Wade Manor. Apparently haunted, but is it really? He's turned it into a museum of sorts of oddities. Uh, yeah, he's pretty intriguing, Stevie. I've been watching him too. It's pretty cool. I didn't see the last episode yet, though. I have not seen the last episode. All right, there we go. Hear that. So I don't know. Let me just see. I don't think I have it loaded up here. But we'll play it. Let me see. I'll play it here. Where are we? It's not long at all. It's short. All right. Let me just share in case you guys haven't seen it. Here we go. Anyone? Feeling anything in it? I don't know. I would have thought connection. I don't know. But there's nothing. No wind. No nothing. It's quiet before the storm. Alex and I were feeling that something good was going to happen. What's that? Alex and I had a feeling something good was going to happen. Could be. So, could be. Let's see what the future holds. So yeah, that is going to drop. Probably the full episode will probably, like I said, drop next Thursday. Not this Thursday, but next Thursday. Yeah, Matt's going to be on the show. Of course, Matt. We always have Matt on the show, and quite possibly we'll have him on for a show again, like an actual scheduled show, to talk about several things. Always like having Matt on. In fact, I invited him to come on now. I don't know if he's. Let me see. I mean, I could give him a shout, but I'll just leave that with him. If it doesn't get to him, it doesn't get to him. Like I said, I'm only going to go for a couple hours this afternoon anyways. I'm not going by any long stretch at all today. Let's see. So I watched this movie, Oddity, and I don't know if it's available there. Do you guys get oh, what the hell's that channel? I can't remember the name of the channel here, but it's an English flick, English horror flick, and I have to say I absolutely fucking enjoyed it. I loved it. It gave me the feeling of an old Amicus, an old Hammer flick, and I absolutely loved it. It's probably one of the best horror flicks I've seen in a while. Oddity. Really, really cool. Cool flick. What's the name of that? Yeah, it's awesome, Stephen. I absolutely loved it. Loved it. Hey Steve, how are you? I highly recommend it. If you have not seen it, do by all means do your whatever you can. It's called Oddity, Steve. Oddity. I would play the trailer here, but I'll get dung. Hey Laura, I'll put the trailer in chat so you guys can watch it. I fucking loved it. I absolutely loved it. Oddity trailer. Okay, here we go. Like I said, it's probably one of the best horror flicks I've seen in a while. Take Me to the Moon. I have not seen that yet. I'll have to look into it. But there's the trailer for Oddity. Real cool flick. And like I said, it gave me it really does give you that sort of amicus horror, amicus hammer sort of feel to it. A5. It gives you that feel. It really does. I really, really enjoyed it. And I have a horror fest every year in tribute to my buddy who passed away in 2001. And I will definitely be playing Oddity during the horror fest this year. There we go. If anybody wants to come up, by all means, you're more than welcome to. I will pin it in a sec. But yeah, it's really, really cool flick. I'm really like, I kept hearing, okay, yeah, it's a good movie, and you hear that all the time. You hear that it's a good movie, and you sit down and you watch it, and you're like, this is shit. It's not good at all. It's really not. But you know what? This one absolutely. I would look at. I'm very picky. I'm extremely picky now with horror movies, and this one, the atmosphere alone, the location alone is enough to intrigue you. This old British English countryside farmhouse, whatever, renovated is the setting for this movie, and I'm telling you, it's absolutely it's perfect. It's the location is perfect, and I don't want to give too much away. Like I said, check out the trailer. I put the trailer in chat, the link for it. Check it out. I think the trailer alone will want you to watch the movie. Really, really do. And it's really hard to find a good movie, like a really good horror, especially horror flick. It's really hard to find them now because there's so many half-assed uh, flicks out there now. Uh, yeah, exactly. It can be very, very sketchy. Yeah, I'll have to check that out, Steven. I haven't seen it yet, Tim, and I'm hearing, oh, this is the best aliens flick since in modern times or whatever. And then I'm hearing, oh shit, it's just crap. So I'm kind of waiting. I you know I was all a part of the hype. Oh, I got to see it. I got to see it as soon as it comes out. But in the States, it was really neat because they had what was it, a popcorn bowl or something that lights up. It really looked cool, and it cost a few bucks, but it looked cool. I wanted to check it out. Yeah, but yeah, I'll eventually see it. I'm looking forward to the Alien series that's coming out on is it FX or something. I can't remember which streaming platform, but there's an Alien series coming out too, so I'm kind of looking forward to that. Aliens is hit and miss. But I do like the last couple Alien flicks. A lot of people are like, yeah, Alien Earth. A lot of people were, Did I like the Nun? It was okay. It wasn't great. The Nun is a part of the. See, I have a hard time with the Warrens, if you will, and all these movies that have come into existence because of the Warrens. And the reason being is because they were highly religious, but at the same time, they were profiteers. They were, you know, it's like, oh, let's call them in and they'll take care of the situation. Oh, you've got demonic infestations going on here. What the fuck are you talking about? The Amityville Horror being one of them. I think that's one of the biggest bullshit stories out there. I mean, the DeFeo aspect of things beforehand is more creepier than the fucking, George Lutz and the Lutz family shit that went down. They were just looking for money, if you ask me. But like I said, the DeFeo sort of scenario, that is fucking insane. Killing the family, saying the devil made him do it. But when you look at the evidence and you look at the report and you see that there was something to do with the girl, his sister's younger sister, having gunpowder residue on her hands. So was it the sister that actually killed the parents, killed the family? And was the older brother, what's his name? I can't remember DeFeo. I can't remember his name, but was it him that was covering for his sister and took the hit and went to jail? I mean, it's a crazy scenario. To me, that's more intriguing than the stupid hauntings and the demonic bullshit that happened afterwards. And you got to thank the Warrens for that. And a lot of people will get mad at me because of my views on the Warrens, but I'm sorry, that's just the way. A lot of things that have happened have been religious based. And I think it muddles the water when you're truly trying to understand what's happening. And when people just outright tell you there's demonic activity going on in the home, and there's not. And you're scaring the fuck out of the people that live there. You're scaring the shit out of the people that would want to buy the house if the people sold it. Because I don't want to live here anymore. I got to sell the house. I can't sell it now because people think it's fucking got demons. So, the Enfield incident in the UK is another scenario where the Warrens went into and sort of, you know, put their stamp of approval on saying, hey, it's demonic. There's so many. And now you have the hoopla going around the what is it? Oh my god. Ugh. I can't even remember the name of that. The Conjuring House. You look at the shit that has gone down with this Conjuring House bullshit. Um, yeah, absolutely. And again, the documentary I think was directed by one of the Lutz kids, I believe. I believe that's the one you're referring to, Laura. But I mean, you look at the Conjuring house now, and you look at how people are profiting from what the Warrens have put out there in these movies, and people are flocking to this Conjuring house wanting to investigate it, and the person that owned it was totally fluffing it up for a few bucks. You literally had to pay $1,200 for an evening to investigate in there, and you had to sign a waiver that you would not say anything bad about this fucking house. So they handcuffed you. Don't say anything bad about us, or else we're gonna sue you. You know, bullshit. So right there and then, you know, you know, there's an issue if they're gonna, you know, if they have a problem with people, saying bad shit about them. Because let's face it, all these paranormal Disneyland locations will have bad reviews, will have bad experiences. You'll go in there and nothing happens and you'll be disappointed. So you're going to say, what the hell? I wasted my money. The Conjuring Home is no different. Yeah, I can't wait. I can't wait for that either. That 28 years later, that looks cool. And I worked on a set where 28 Days Later was based upon the book, uh, you know, by David Moody. Basically, David Moody, a movie called Autumn. The film is loosely based on. And a lot of people don't know that, but when you look into David Moody's 28 day, or sorry, Autumn, that was literally one of the main inspirations for 28 Days Later. And I worked on the film adaptation of it with Dexter Fletcher and David Carradine and a few others uh, years ago. I think it was 2009, and the movie's called Autumn. It's called Autumn, and it doesn't get its fair shake, and I can understand why. But when you look to see what David Moody was doing the book is good. The book is great. Any guys, if you like that kind of book, look up David Moody. He's a UK author, and I'm so happy I got to meet him. Super nice guy, great guy. Had him on set, and I'm telling you, check out his books. David Moody. He's got some really cool books, and he's got a series with Autumn. I forget the name of the series, but Autumn is one of the books in there. Um, but because Autumn had a small budget, the director Stephen Rambelow, who of course is native to the UK, he was well known with a lot of music videos in the 90s and so on and so on. But he moved here to Canada and started up his own production company, and he worked on a series called Beyond, and awesome series again. And I have to say, hi, Sab, how are you?
Oh,
It's good to see you, sir.
and you too, and you too. How are you
And
doing?
Sab's Man Cave. I
In
like
the Sab's Man Cave today, yes. Not
Sab's
in the
Man Cave. And so why is there a warning there?
because it's
Warning.
Sab's Man Cave. Look, I'll show you.
Okay.
Have to show you this.
Oh, you're entering Sab's Man Cave, my rules. Okay, gotcha. So how you doing, sir?
Yep. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. Yeah. Ugh. I have well, I'll show you what I've been doing. So I was up for like the duration of the full day. We've just got our Indian summer has
Yeah.
hit us, so it's this lovely weather again. We had a week of miserable rain and cold, that cold spell that comes in at the end of summer, so to speak.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's soon past, and now we've got our little bit of summer that's come on. And if you see here, look, that's all the chopping, all the cut-offs that I've had today as well. I
Okay.
actually used my big log that somebody gave me, and if you
Yeah.
look at it, I've had to treat it with woodworm killer. Look at it.
Oh
Look at
yeah.
all them holes, man.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Oh, that's a lot of holes in
Are
there.
you? Are you? Do you guys have a lot of problems with those worms over there?
Well, I didn't. I've never really come across it that much. I've thought that as well myself. Let me just pause that dryer. Anyway, so I've had everything out of the kitchen, literally, and I have installed laminate flooring. So it looks
Nice. Look at
beautiful on
that.
the floor now. Yeah, that. All the way through. I've literally just finished it off today as well. So I stopped there at the
Sab,
kitchen
Sab,
and now come through to the hall.
I'm gonna have to hire you, and I'm gonna have to fly you out here and help me with my ensuite my ensuite.
My new brick steps that I've just done as well with some paving
Look at
bricks
this
that I was
guy,
given.
man.
So
This guy's a master at several things, man. Holy
I'm
shit.
coming up here now. I've got to finish this bit off here. That bit there actually is the hole behind all them tools there. There's a
Yeah,
hole actually comes out there where where the water table hits. So all the
yeah,
water, you see the house is up on the hill there. It's above our house. The
yeah,
bottom, the base of his house is level with our roof, so to speak. So yeah,
yeah,
the water obviously comes through the soil, comes through all of this that clay and that silt, and there's a sand, big loads of sandstone in there as well. So where
yeah,
the
yeah,
sandstone's got cracks in it and whatnot, you get water that trickles through. Well, that's actually one of the points where it comes through. That's why I've dug that channel there. You see that like kind of creek looking channel. So it's going to
yeah.
come out there where that, yeah, I've concreted it there as well with a little metal channel as well. So it can come down there. It's basically where, because we have loads of rain here, obviously, that's England, isn't it? So when it does get really wet, that does actually make a little river that goes through the garden. So it's quite nice. But yeah, that's anyway, yeah.
So
So
you guys are going through your Indian summer right now.
pretty much, yeah, I would say so. Yeah, that's loads of cut off there. Look at these beds. Well, this is a bed frame. Look at this. Honestly, I'll move some bits over so you can see it properly. There's a walking stick I'm going to do. That's a nice walking stick.
Yeah.
I've got loads of little projects I'm tidying up now, you see. No, I've pretty much finished off. I've decorated. I've done the flooring. Do you know what I mean? I've done all the ceilings and
But
everything else.
the
I've
the main
literally
the main thing is, dude, you're keeping yourself busy, you're keeping yourself occupied, and you're actually doing shit.
look at him. Look at
Yeah.
that though. I'm gonna make them into benches. It's really that's solid oak wood. That you know.
Jesus.
That's solid. Oh,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
now imagine like a church pew
Yep.
bench,
Yep.
so to speak, but with a grand kind of back on it because the other one's got. If I can show you, the other one's got like an ornate kind of carving into it as well. So like
And I mean,
yeah,
that's
that's a
not
big one. That one.
that's not cheap
That's a
stuff
little one.
either. I mean, solid
No,
oak is expensive.
you'll go and have a look at some solid oak
Yeah.
church pew benches and stuff
Yeah.
like that. They're not cheap. They're a few £100. Like so.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, I've salvaged that. Someone came and well, it was the young lad. He needed a new bed for it, and then somebody else offered him this.
Yeah.
He's put it in his room, and obviously where the end of his bed is, he can't sit on the end of his bed anymore and play his games, can he? So because it's like, and he's like, so he's like, don't want that then. Threw it out in the back garden. You can have that if you want it. And I was like, wicked shot. I can do something. Oh, bring it into Tab's man cave and we'll turn it into. But yeah, no, it's right. Yeah, like you know me. I'm always thinking. I'm always doing something. I'm always on my toes, and that people always turn up and give me random projects to do in between as well.
Yeah, but that's cool, man. I mean, you're always busy and you always got something going on. It's an inspiration to me because it gets me going because being this time of the year I like to fidget around in the garage and build stuff and everything else, so I'm like,
On
What is
that note, I am
what is Sam
preparing.
up to?
Yeah, I was going to say on that note,
Yeah.
you'll be inspired to know that I am currently collecting bits and pieces and putting them together, ready to start culminating and creating and crafting and making Halloween stuff. So,
Ooh,
because
cool.
you know what I'm like, I've set myself a
Yeah,
target as well, and I'm like, right, it's September. As
yeah.
soon as September hits, that's it. I've got pretty much 2 months to get everything done. You know, I can do it in 2 months
Oh
anyway.
God,
So,
yeah.
yeah, do you know what I mean? But yeah, making it and getting it all ready and that, and I've made all the space in the garden now. I've tidied up. I've sorted everything pretty much out. You know what I mean? I've got it out of the way, like so. I've got space now to put all my Halloweeny stuff and build it up in that little corner over there. Oh yeah, get ready, Steve. No, you do that. You've got loads more stuff than me already, so you kind of like
Yeah, but you know what?
you beat me
A lot.
already.
Yeah, sure. I've made some stuff, but I mean, I've bought a lot of stuff. I haven't really made a lot. I mean, I want to make more, and I am this year. I think this year I'm going to be making a lot more than usual because things are just so expensive right now, right?
You got to use this and a bit of like salvaging and that, like, do you know what I mean? So
There you go. They
the
should
good thing
call it
about Halloween is you can use like kind of
Halloween.
stuff that's kind of like half done anyway. If you get my drift, like like a
Yeah,
zombie breaking out to the floor, you can use like bits of pallet that have been broken anyway, and they look naturally kind of broken anyway.
yeah,
Like so, you can them like kind of sticking out and stuff like that. Yeah,
yeah.
I'm gonna do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
That's a great idea. See. There
Oh,
you go.
and on that note,
Yeah.
if we want to be really think about this as well, because like, batteries, if I go and take it, I'm not going to take you down. I'll just tell you, like, do you know what I mean? You know I'm good for it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I got loads of batteries, literally loads of batteries, and I got loads of motors and stuff as well. So like
Yeah.
I was saying last year about doing the animatronics, I'm really gonna because if you use some PVC pipe in the right way and do you know what I mean, link it up and stuff like that, I can do all that. That's just that take me about a couple of 3 days that to get my head around. Once you've built one or two, once you've got your head around how you can make things, then I'll start doing it. You watch next year. I'll have things that are like kind of coming out of the ground. You don't even see it. It's got like one of them camouflage, one of them nettings, camouflage nets. Like, yeah, and it comes out
Yeah.
like,
'Cause
yeah. Oh, and I'll
I was
record. I'll
I
record
was
it.
working last year. I was working on this zombie that inches along the ground. I've been
Ooh,
working
yeah.
on it. I think I'm going to finish it off this year, but literally he's going to be like inching. He'll inch along the
I
ground.
got that in my head, or I know how to do that. You have it on like a loop on the top there, and you have
Yeah.
the little loop
Yeah.
set
You got a
so
loop
you can
and you just,
swing.
yeah.
And that you got two lines, so one's underneath, like so to speak,
Yeah.
like in
And
a
you got a
sheath,
couple
like
hooks and
so it doesn't snag, and then one's
yeah,
pulling, yeah, and that's pulling it towards your target. Yeah,
exactly.
I got that in my head already.
And most people go, how the hell do you do it? It's really not that hard. If you put your mind to it, it's not hard.
No. It's like the
No.
flying ghost. I'm like people were amazed last year. Well, not last year, year before. I didn't do it last year, did I? But I mean, if you want to put it on spectrum as well, like my estate here, even though I might have a couple of hundred houses on this estate where I live here, and then it goes off into farmland, so to speak. Do you know what I mean? But
Yeah.
I'm on that little fringe where I am here. Ain't many people do that in the garden. I tell you, nobody on the 3 or 4 streets around me, nobody else did it. So you can imagine, like, all the kids were like, "Whoa!"
This is so cool. Yeah. But I mean,
It was cool. Yeah.
Halloween's not a big thing there, right? I mean, it's not really that
Well,
big.
the kids do it. They do the trick or treating. It's like kind
Yeah.
of a big thing for the kids, but it's not like it's not exasperated upon, if that's
Yeah.
the right word. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
you guys go all out and have like things where
Oh,
you turn.
down south, just south of
You
us, it's
have to
just like
earn your candy
insane.
to go get it, like, you know.
Yeah. Like it's so insane. Like I said, I'll go down to the States for a couple weeks and just touring the small little towns and stuff like that, just to get sort of ideas and shit. And it's amazing how much they get into it. Here, yeah, they get into it, but not like down there. Down
No,
there, it's insane.
yeah.
They sh-
There's
it
a
sh-
lot to
it
go.
should be
Well, they have
a
they have conventions in USA, don't they, for all the bloody animatronics and stuff
They
like
got
that?
conventions,
Yeah,
the little towns get done up for
yeah.
harvest and Halloween. I'm surprised it's not a holiday down there. I'm surprised. I thought for sure something like that would be a holiday there.
See,
It's
Stephen's on it as well. Hello to everybody in chat, by the way. Sorry, excuse me. I do
yeah.
apologize. I should have said that sooner, but there you go. But
But
no, yeah.
it just amazes me how it's not. They get so done up. It's like, wow.
Yeah, they do. That's
You
what I
know,
mean. Like, yeah, even just me doing a little bit of that in my garden is kind of like, yeah, it's a big thing here for me to do that. Like, so B says hello,
hey
B.
B, how are you? Good to see you, B. It's just I don't know. It's a whole different monster. I mean, here and in the States, well, in the States earlier, here now it's starting to it's back to school now for the kids. So people are getting into the back to school sort of aspect of things. And with that, you have things that are labeled as back to school treats. It's really Halloween treats, right? Because they're packaged as Halloween treats. And you got your Halloween cereals. I mean, your Count Chocula, your Frankenberry.
Chocolate.
Yeah. And it goes all nuts. Yeah. Oh, it's huge, Stephen. It's huge. Yeah. Pennsylvania, again, that state, like New York State, they go nuts. They go absolutely well. Obviously, the northeastern states, especially, go all out, and that's because Michigan, Pennsylvania, Ohio, New York State, and Connecticut. These and Vermont, and they all get so much into it. They so invested in it because there's such a huge market for it, and the environment, Sab, the environment, it's perfect because you're thinking all these trees in the fall. When the fall hits, the trees turn, and you get right into the feeling of the season, right?
This one will shock you. On
Yeah.
this very, very note that we're talking about, go and have a little Google on YouTube, etc., at Whitby Goth Weekend.
Whitby Goth.
WHITBY Whitby, WHITBY Whitby Goth Weekend. It's in April as well. Actually, it's not even in Halloween. So, and here's the story behind how I stumbled upon this myself. In my mid-20s, I was off and away traveling, as you know. Like, I was near Middlesbrough at the time. Like, I was there. I
Yeah.
remember when I went and confronted my dad about all that. Yeah, well, anyway, right. So what I did was I did like a walk down the northeast coast. It's the Cleveland Way coast. It's like a 50-odd mile, nearly 60-mile walk down the coast. Like, yeah. It takes you past Scarborough, all the places that on that Yorkshire coast, Scarborough Fair, and all that. Like, yeah. And there's a little place called Fife near that. Like, do you get me? I walked Whitby. Yeah. It takes you all that east coast. Like, anyway. So when I turned up in Whitby after doing miles of walking on that, because I turned up like a bit further up from Scar, you know what I mean? I started like kind of halfway upish, so to speak. Anyway, I got to Whitby, and when I turned up, no word of a lie, my dad came and gave me a lift home. And then when I said, right, I'm going to go back, because I went back, I've been 2-3 days camping, so my dad gave me a lift. It was like near enough an hour drive. And we had the day pretty much. And then I was like, right, I'm going to go back. We're starting Whitby again. I'm going to do the rest of the walk and what have you. There's all sorts of stuff to see upon there. But this is what I stumbled upon when I turned up in Whitby. Like, it was mental, I swear to God. When my dad was driving me back into Whitby, it was getting dark. And I could see people like dressed up as like Dracula and vampires and ghosts. I was a bit like, hang on, did we just see did we just see 3 vampires in that lay-by in the dark there as you're going by?
Wow, look at that.
As you can see, it's like loads of farm around it, like, so people waiting for a lift or something that are getting into it. We drive past and your headlights will light up as they light them up as you're going past. You're like, hang on. Was that me, or did you just see 3 vampires there? It was honestly, it's really good. Like,
Wow.
yeah, some of the costumes that they do, they really go all out, and it's like it's a full town thing as well. The whole town kind of goes out for it as well. Like, it's Goth Weekend. They do like a Goth Weekend, but I'd say that's more of an equivalent to like what you're saying about the American, you know, where they go all out, and it's like, yeah, it's a full town of people getting dressed up and having a proper day out of. I suppose it's like the Mexican Day of the Dead. So what's that?
Well,
Festival?
that's exactly
They
it.
have,
And
yeah, yeah.
it's pretty on par with Halloween and Samhain and so on and so on. It's got the pagan sort of.
Yeah.
Hold on, let me just.
Yeah, there is that as well. See, down here as well on the south coast, there is a few. There's what they call Jack in the Green. And now, when they do that in April, though, what they've done is they've taken that Jack in the Green. That's what I think they've done. They've taken that Jack in the Green festival, and it's become their Goth Weekend festival, so to speak.
Yeah.
Maybe you're right on that actually, because I've seen a few of the Jack in the Green costumes in there as well in that Goth Weekend in Whitby.
Yeah.
Isn't that mad? That's it. So it just goes to show when you travel about a bit, you know, when you live around the country and you travel about, you come across these little things and you learn about the country and like you learn about history and stuff like that as well.
There is a legendary place
You got
along
this
the Hudson
too.
River, filled with ghoulish haunts that will make you shiver. Here we hail
It does make you wonder how far back does it go? Like, look,
honor his
1640
spirit
there.
all year
Yeah.
filled with dread.
Yeah, this
Yeah, how
part,
far
yeah.
back does this kind of stuff go? Like?
Takes both Sleepy Hollow and
There's got to be
Terrytown
something behind it.
to uphold the spooky season all year round. Yet the villages come most alive in October, where tricks and treats are seen all over.
Hold on to your heads.
I mean, that's like, and then you go something like this. This is even crazier. This is even crazy. Like year round, it's like this. But
I'll take you with me while I go and make a cup of coffee.
yeah. Let me just see it. Pull it up here.
Why'd you see that correct? I did just see that correct. My cat is sat on the other laptop. Oi, get off that laptop. Thank you very much. That's the laptop I'm using. It's the same as the laptop I'm using here to stream with, but
Yeah.
that one's pinging the Wi-Fi from the house, so I've got extra Wi-Fi. Ah. That one, when you use the hotspot on that, it actually uses the Wi-Fi it's already got to ping it. It just bounces like a repeater, like a Wi-Fi repeater. It uses it like that. So
you got this here. This is
Welcome to Salem, Massachusetts. Even though it's known for its dark history, Salem has become a top attraction in the month of October. Figure out for you. We're going to show you the top 13 best things to do and see in Salem, Massachusetts. Let's begin. First on our list is probably the most famous attraction, the Witch House. It was the home of Judge Corwin and is the only structure still standing in Salem with direct ties to the Salem witch trials of 1692. You can tour the inside or take photos outside for free.
Take
Witch
photos free.
Located just off Charter Street on Liberty Street is Salem's simple yet dramatic memorial to the 20 victims of the witch trials of 1692. 4-foot-high granite walls surround 3 sides, with granite benches representing each victim. Etched on each bench is a name, means of execution, and execution date.
No, it's Salem, Massachusetts.
Right next to the Witch Trials Memorial, Burying Point Cemetery. Old Burying Point Cemetery, also known as the Charter Street Cemetery, is the oldest maintained cemetery in Salem and among the oldest in the United States. Opened in 1637, it is the final resting place of several Salem notables. One of the most famous graves here is that of Judge John Hawthorne, who was one of the leading judges in the Salem witch trials. Next are the shops on Essex Street, which is pretty much known as the main street of Salem. Here you'll find all sorts of really cool shops, from gift stores to bookstores, amazing restaurants, and the Witch City Mall, all located in the same area of Essex Street. Next is the Witch Dungeon Museum. The mood is set from the moment you enter the Witch Dungeon Museum.
That place is pretty
You are
cool.
there in Salem Village in 1692, and you are guaranteed a unique educational experience. We toured this
Joe.
back in 2019, and it was absolutely amazing. We love the actors on stage replicating the trials. I would highly recommend this museum.
Yeah, I enjoyed that place.
Next up is the Salem Witch Museum.
That one as well.
Visitors experience the panic of the witch trials through this museum's dramatic use of sets and lighting. If you're going to Salem, this is something you should check out. However, we much prefer the Dungeon Museum. Next is Pioneer Village. Located at West Avenue on the edge of town,
I'll be
Pioneer
right
Village
back.
is a living
Just gotta
history
fill
museum
up.
recreating the city of Salem as it was in the 17th century. Opened in June 1930, it was the first museum of its kind in the United States. Fun fact, the beginning scenes of the movie Hocus Pocus were filmed right here. Speaking of Hocus Pocus, next item on our list is to check out some Hocus Pocus filming locations. If you didn't know, half of the movie was actually filmed right here in Salem. You can check out Max and Danny's house on Ocean Avenue, Allison's house and the Salem Town Hall on Essex Street, and the old Salem High School where Max was denied Allison's number. Next is Proctor's Ledge. It's a simple memorial designed by landscape architect Martha Lyon, was dedicated on July 19, 2017, the 325th anniversary of the hangings of Sarah Good, Elizabeth Howe, Susanna Martin, Rebecca Nurse, and Sarah Wilds. Embedded in the semicircular wall are stones engraved with the names of the 19 victims. Directly behind the memorial is the actual Proctor's Ledge, also known as Gallows Hill. This area is open to the public, just not after dusk, so keep that in mind. This was the actual site of the Salem witch hangings. For a long time, historians believe that the location was somewhere else right up until 2016, when it was determined that those terrible events took place right here. Next is the famous Bewitched statue. Located right in the town square, make sure to get a picture with her. Next is the London Coffee House, located at 15 Central Street. It's a small, 3-story pitched roof wooden house built in 1776. The old London Coffee House was the gathering place of the Patriots before the American Revolution. Last on our list is the Lighthouse. Right next to Joe Coffee, you'll find the bay with a few old shops and some beautiful views. My family and I absolutely love taking the hike out to see the lighthouse and getting a yearly family photo here. Well, everyone, is going to wrap it up for this video. If you enjoyed it, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe. Also, make sure to check out my entire Salem playlist for more videos. Take care.
Yeah, so there you go. A little view of what Salem, Massachusetts looks like. The Salem witch trials. Huge place. A lot of people go there in October. So I don't know. Ooh, what's this here? Oh, you're muted. There you go.
Start again. Anyway, vape battery. So from a vape pen, vape.
Oh,
vape
okay.
pen.
Yeah.
These big. Well, these have got rechargeables on the bottom as well.
Oh wow.
So I've taken a few of them apart. Yeah. I've back engineered them. I got some charger bits as well, so you can put. Yeah.
So you got these out of vape pens, huh? And people throw this shit away like it's nothing, and there's good shit, right? Wow.
And I mean, I've made battery packs and battery packs. I have been going to B&Q, our hardware store, and you find all sorts of laptops and stuff like that. I've literally acquired there's 12 in each bundle, so 12, 24, 36, 48. Yeah, about 60 or 70 of them 1865 all batteries as well. And they're pretty good for making battery packs as well. I can make a 2000 watt 48 volt battery pack if I put all this stuff together. And I've literally got the BMS board and stuff like that. So yeah, I've been tinkering away and making myself decent battery packs and stuff like that. Yeah.
What
Yeah.
what kind of batteries are in them?
That's 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 5 of them vape batteries. Each vape battery, I've put 5 in series.
And what are
Yeah,
they?
and that
The mini batteries, right? In the vape
they're
pack?
actually 3 point. I'll read them out to you as well. So you got loads of different ones. You get loads of different. You get fatter ones. You get thinner ones. You get longer ones. You know what I mean? Depends on the vape that you actually get. Obviously, like, do you know what I mean? The manufacturer, obviously, they all have different kind of ones. But typically speaking, they are these ones. Mostly, they are these ones that I'm getting. They're like the little Bloody Mary ones. I haven't even got any of the shells because my kid nicks all the shells and goes and bashes them up and uses them for other stuff and that. But yeah, they're like little bit. But they've actually got decent batteries in, and they are 3.7 volt at 550 milliamps per hour.
Wow.
Yeah, and it tells you as well it gives out 2.4 watts per hour. So what they are is they're like high tense batteries that give off a lot of power in one go. If you get my drift, but they're small enough to be, but you've got to check them all as well because some of the batteries they're not proper. Like, do you get me? There's some companies, some of these vape companies, they use shoddy batteries and that, like shoddy connectors and stuff like this. So some of them, I get rid of them, I throw them away, like. But and they've all gone because I've had a clean up as well. There was a big pile of them, literally a big pile in the corner there on the floor, down where I literally, you know what I mean, took all them apart and put all the stuff I wasn't using, like these as well. Look, some of them. That's why I haven't taken this and I haven't used this. Because if you look at that white, it looks like it's burnt out. The wires have, or something's happened in there. So I don't trust that. I don't trust that battery anymore. But I'll have that charger bit off it. So,
but let's face it, though. I mean, a lot of these single-use vape things. I mean, they don't really put high tech in them.
No, I know, yeah.
Wow.
But yeah, this little motor. Look, I can make. What I'm going to make is out of this. I'm going to put a spinny disc on this one, so you can use one of these vape batteries to power it as well. It literally makes it spin quite fast. But if you just put something bigger onto it, I can make one of them, like, so it makes you like what you call it, optical illusions. Like, you look into my eye, one of them, like, yeah. So you look into it and it gets you hypnotized. One of them, you know what I'm talking about. With spirals to the center. Yeah, I'll do one of them. And there's a little motor there, so I can power something that goes kind of round as well. Like, so yeah, I'll do something. Yeah. But yeah. What? Here. Oh, thanks. Be back in a second.
Oh, no problem. But I mean, it goes to show you all this throwaway shit can be used for all sorts of fucking shit. Used like I was going to throw out an old water cooler, and I go, no. I'm not going to throw it out because I could use certain parts of this for other stuff. Because literally the only thing that went on it was the capacitor, right?
I'm back.
I mean, you kind of screwed when a capacitor goes, right? Right, Snap?
Yeah, they kind of blow up, don't they?
Blow up your phone. You got to get into it. Yeah.
Depends on what. Yeah, depends on what it is. But most of the time they'll kind of like pop fizzle and it's pop fizzle and bang sort of situation when they're.
Well, the one I had a water cooler, and it wasn't dispensing. Hey, Brady, how are you?
It's a high power and full. They'll bang.
Yeah, it wasn't dispensing cold water, right? So I'm like, okay, what's the problem? It's making a noise. So the compressor was screwed. It was gone.
Yeah.
Right. So it wasn't cooling up stuff.
Yeah.
So But I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. It still gives cool water, not cold water, but cool water.
Yeah.
But people will just throw it away. I want cold water.
Yeah, well, that's them's the commercialized people, aren't they? So
Exactly.
everything has to be bigger and better and always, you know what I mean? Yeah.
Well, it's like a throwaway society, man. I mean, most people just don't care. They don't want
Yeah, no, you would not believe I've had to convert my wife from being like that.
to. Yeah.
She was very much throwaway. You know, I was very. What we've done is because I was a hoarder and she was just a throwaway. Yeah? If that makes sense, I don't know what you
So
call
you
it.
went,
Yeah.
you met.
We've kind of
in
like
between.
we've balanced out. That's what we've done. Like, so I don't
Yeah.
hoard as much stuff, but she doesn't throw away as much stuff. You know, she even asked me now, like, because like glass jars and stuff like. She's like, "Do you need this? Do you want this?" You know, instead of just throwing it in the bin or the recycling straight away. Like,
It's called a fella never knows. A fella never knows. Sam.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
a fella never knows.
Because like the jars, I'll start collecting a few jars now as well.
Yeah.
You know, for the candles and stuff like that. Because I've got the tile cutter. It's a glass tile cutter, so I can put that on and just turn it around. It cuts it into the right shape, so I can literally take like a. Do you know what I mean? And make a little glass pot, so to speak. You know what I mean? So yeah, it makes it's brilliant. I've got a few already. I've got a few of these glass pots already, like, and I've got a load of glass jars and bottles ready for it as well. Like so, but yeah,
they're always they're always handy. Yeah, they're always handy. You can always find something for them. You can.
Well, sometimes you can get a bit carried away, and you can be like, "Yeah, but I might need 20 of them." Do you know what I mean? You end up like, I end up with carrier bags full of stuff everywhere, and I had to get rid of loads. I literally had to get rid of loads.
Yeah.
Like a skip, you know what I mean? You when you order a skip and you have it in your garden on your front drive. Last year I had to order a skip so I could get rid of lots of stuff. This year I've not had so much stuff, so I've filtered it out. I give some to the scrap man, the metal stuff to the scrap man, so he can go and weigh it and make his money on it. And the rest of it's plastic and wood, so either burn it or take it off to the tip. Like, yeah.
I think my nemesis is skids. Always doing something with skids, wood skids, pallets.
Oh right, yeah.
Like I'm bad with them. I mean, if I see one, I'm taking it. I could do something with it.
I used to be the same. I know where all my you know where all your local places are as well. You can get them.
I don't need to go to a local place. I just go to like there's a couple of factories down the road. They just toss.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. Yeah, they're your place. They're the places that you know you can go there, and there's pretty much pallets there all the time. Like pretty much. Yeah, I've got a couple of places like that.
I built my
the trading estates.
Let me see.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna have to do. I'm gonna have to go down off to my little my little places now and go and get a few pallets, break them up, and burn what's left. Save it for bonfire night. I've got bonfire night coming up anyway, so that's end of October.
Bonfire, but I hold on. Yeah. I'm gonna pull up a picture. Like I said, I built my cemetery fence with pallets. Yeah.
Steve, come on now. Have you seen the inside of this? Pallets.
That's all pallets. Yeah.
Pallets.
No, I remember you saying that.
Pallets. All the walls, pallets. God, I have literally taken apart approximately 200 pallets to get all the inside of here lined out with good pallet wood. It's not all good pallet wood when you take a pallet apart. People don't understand that. They think you only get about between 4 and 6 or 7 maybe pieces of wood off a pallet. And each one of them, well, if you're not counting the back ones that have been sat in the moist and they look damp and ruined and whatnot, basically the bottom ones, you get about 3 of them, 2 or 3 of them. But I never really use them unless they're obviously good, like, do you know what I mean? Unless you get good pallets, new ones. But really, people don't know.
I think I used about 4 pallets for building this fence for the cemetery.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's enough though. That's it. That's just you can grab 4
Well,
and
yeah.
put them in the back of the car, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, that's good going. That. Where'd you get skeletons from though and whatnot? Where'd you get all the rest of the good? I've got a bag of clothes. That's what I'm saying. I got a bag of clothes in there. Got them last week, didn't I? So I've just sorted half of them out as well, ready to see what I can use for the Halloween.
I got
I've just got my started my solar as well.
I went to a lot of like garage sales and stuff, yard sales. People are just like, oh yeah, just give me whatever. Okay, yeah, no problem. You know,
Boot
cheap.
sales, yeah.
You know, just yard sales, garage sales. There's crap loads of them around now. And I noticed around this time between now and the end of September, a lot of people
put them out as well.
put that shit out. Oh, I'm not going to use this. I don't do this anymore. Okay, I'll buy the whole lot. You know.
Where I live, do you know what? We don't really get any of that sort of stuff, like, but we do have like all year round. We have like it's like people put stuff out and they put free to take. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Well, up north of England, you don't really find that as much. I found. I lived all over the north, and I've lived pretty much all over the south. And trust me, like mostly south, it's a different culture of giving and taking. Up north, they'll just take. Down south, it's like they want to give stuff away more. Do you know what I mean? It's a very weird concept. It's very strange. That.
I mean, you do get shit down here. I mean, yeah, a lot of people will go, oh yeah. Free to take. Go ahead. Free.
Recycle. That's it.
You know, recycle, reuse, whatever. Yeah, you get a lot of it now.
We've got a thing called free cycle. Yeah, free cycle.
Free cycle.
Free cycle. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't throw anything out unless it's absolutely garbage. I can't do anything with it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's picked apart. I've taken what I want.
It's been cleaned. It's been sourced.
It's been cleaned. It's been sourced, and people are like, "Oh, I can't do anything with this." Okay, see you later. It's going to the trash. You know,
a lot of stuff. If you have a look at like some videos from auditors who go around the back streets of places like Stoke-on-Trent and that, they live like it looks like a third world country. Do you know what I mean? Seriously, it's just everything's just all thrown in the back alleys of the houses. We're talking old 1940s, 50s kind of terraced houses, you know, built back in the industry and stuff like that. Old Victorian houses and stuff like that. All that sort of industry, like yeah. There's a lot of it's all bled through, if you get my drift. Like where a lot of them streets still exist, and because of the way the streets are set up, that's just the way they live. So it brings you that kind of. I've lived in it. I know it. Like I've lived in them streets of Stoke-on-Trent. I know I've lived in amongst them people. Kind of like there is kind of like this cultural. I don't know. It's like what you call it? Like when a group, it's like a normality between it. I don't know which way to explain it. Like what? It's like it must be a social construct thing, if you get my drift. Like because it's just the way people are. Most people are kind of like there's a lot of like crackheadery. There's a lot of crackheadery and stuff like that around. You know what I mean? A lot of people just want to beg, borrow, and steal off you straight away. Like as soon as getting to know you and that. Like, I moved there away from somewhere else that I ended up out of the frying pan into the fire doing that. I really did. Like I didn't know anybody moving there really. You know what I mean?
Dude, look at you now, though. I mean, look at you now. I mean,
yeah.
You are doing so much. You know, you're like I said, in your yard alone, your backyard, all that shit that you're doing.
Settle down now. I just settled down now, innit? You know what I mean? I was bouncing about, so let me move that on properly.
But I mean, we all get to that point, though. I mean, we get to that point. We get to the point where I've done it. I've done this. How many times am I going to do this? And you get to a point where you're like, hey, I could do this instead.
Not many people that actually do what the dream was actually set out to be, though. No. Not many people achieve it. That's the truth about it in life. Do you know what I mean? A lot of people are still stuck in that dead dream, that kind of like, oh, I'm stuck in this instead of what I wanted to do or where I wanted to be.
Living in La La Land.
Yeah. So, and that creates a disillusion within themselves of being able stuck in a mindset and a way of thinking and an opposing view, and then they become all. Do you know what I mean? When people just become nasty and stuff like that, I don't know. People say it's lucky for me to be where I am, but I'm just like, listen, trust me, I put the work in to get where I am. Like, it's not,
Exactly.
do you know what I mean? Yeah, for me to be with my wife, I had to rein myself in of the person I used to be, trying to find what it was I was trying to find. When I found it, I realized I found it. It was that realization, and it was only because of the experience that I'd had previous to that I was able to realize what it was that I had.
But at the
So,
same
not look,
time,
it's just what life's throwing at me, like, you know what I mean? It's just the way I am, like,
at the same time, Sab, you are, when you think outside the box. You think outside those constructs. Most people will just accept that those four walls and life is life. But you continue to think outside those outside those walls, and you're like constantly going, okay, I could do this, I could do that, and you can do it, you can achieve it if you put your mind to it. Most people will like, nah, I just give up.
Yeah,
Right.
and do you know what I'm on that note? Do you know what I'm still doing now? And I'll give you a brief insight. The Gateway Project from the CIA, the Monroe Institute. You can all go and have a look at it yourselves. But I'm literally doing that. I'm still constantly doing it in my own time and stuff. It is actually helping me to do what I'm doing as well. Other day I had shoulder pain, and I sat and did that thing. And not only that, but when you're in that state, there's another thing from them that says, if you focus your mind within that state and focus on where it is that's causing you pain, whatever, do you know what I mean? And it was like I slept on it funny and pulled a muscle in my shoulder. It was really painful, like, yeah, like it was all pulled out and that. I'm still, it's weird because it's gone, but yeah, that night what you do is you repeat 5-5-5-1-5. And you focus on that healing, and I did, and I woke up next day, and it was like, huh?
Wow.
I couldn't do that the day before. Do you know what I mean? It just to lift my arm up was like, oh. But no, literally, yeah. Next day I was, yeah. So you know what I mean? Them little things in there, they must work. They must, either that or it's psychological. It must be what they call. Do you know what I mean? Like, yeah, placebo kind of. I've placeboed myself into it, but maybe I don't know. You know what I mean? If it works, it works for me. That works for me. But I know, like you said there, the reason I still strive and I'm going to use that gateway to find what it is that I experience with the orb of light. Like that was. I can't. That's what I know. I've got. There's something in me that opened up that gate, and if that's still there, I've got to find the key
But
to unlock.
you also have these goals, these achievements that you'll get to, and you want to do them, and you won't give up. It may take you a little bit of time, but you're not giving up. Interesting. Is that
12-volt battery pack. 12-volt battery pack off a drill, but it's 12-volt. Yeah, it's 12. Yeah. And it's got the charger bit on it as well. Let's see. And what I did was I got 4 of them vape batteries, as you can see. I made them into little packs, and this BMS takes 5 batteries. So what I've done is I've put them in block. I've not put them in series. I've put them in other way around. So they're just blocks, and then put ends on them, and then they just register as 3.7. But they build up across the board, as you can see, and then it gives out 12-volt. But that's decent. Oh, decent battery pack.
See, but how many people would do that, Sab? Seriously, how many people would do that?
I had to sit there with a full roll of insulation tape and do all that, and then glue gun all the connections together, and that's. And now I've got to make a little box now for it to fit into. Like, so,
you sit there and go, how many people would do that? Literally, only a handful of people.
I test all the batteries. I've got little testers as well. My little Uni 1 Plus battery. You know what I mean? It does all different batteries there. And my other little tester as well. Got little tester. So I am testing the battery.
You're
I have tested with that. I've got a multimeter reader, but that's down in the house because I'm doing the mobility scooters down in the house. I'm doing all the motor controllers and that, and making sure that 12 volt, 24 volt, and all the rest of it. So
Yeah, I've got one somewhere. I don't know where I put it to. I don't know. I have it here somewhere. I don't know.
I've done my Seagull, my British Seagull, by the way, as well.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I've pretty much done it now. I've put the spark plug on it and that. I've put new air filter on it. I've hooked up the fuel tank. I've sorted out the fuel filter that goes on the inside as well. I just need to fill that wheelie bin with water down there. She hooks on. I've got a little board for her to hook onto as well. That helps. And all I've got to do is start her up then. So I just got to, and she's got compression and that. She does turn and everything else as well. But I've read the serial number on that because they're all serial numbered.
Yep.
On the near the carb, you know what I mean, that bit there.
Yeah.
I've looked it up online, and it's from between 1951 and 1961. It's that 10-year range gap, and it's just the standard one. It's not like the sport one. They get different sport ones and featherlight ones and stuff, but that's just the standard one. But that between 1951 and 1961, that was made.
Wow.
And it was sat in someone's garage for about 4 years as well. And I stripped it all down completely and then put it all back together again, cleaned it all up, even the pull chamber on the top and everything like that. And I can, if I wanted to, there's ways to actually, that the big nut on the top, if I get the adapter, I can use my drill to actually start it with. So you could just put the drill on it and be like, and it'll start. Do you get me? Like, instead of having to pull it, just put the drill on it and start it that way.
Now you need to just make yourself a hot rod.
No, it's going on my kayak. I've got 2 kayaks, and I'm going to make a catamaran out of them. I've got a board for sit on. I'm going to sit both boards on the kayaks, on the board on the both kayaks, which are going to hook on with actual roof hook ladders.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, roof hook ladders. I think they must be universal, but yeah. You usually bolt them. I've taken them apart. So one, do you know what I mean? Put one at each end. It hooks onto the kayak.
That would be pretty cool, man. Catamaran.
And then I can sit. I put the seat in the middle there, like, and I put that little outboard on the back there. But I'm thinking, take the steering off a bike, and then you can actually hook it on the handlebars of the bike and have a rudder off the other end of that, which comes off the back of and then you could use it as you turn it. It'd have a rudder on it as well. Yeah.
Wow, that would be cool. That would be awesome.
It's already off made. I've already put it all. I put most of it together already. I've screwed all the bolts in. I've sprayed one of the kayaks. I just need to spray and do the bottom of the other kayak now.
That's incredible. You know, and that's the thing. When you put your time, I mean, when you put your mind to it, I mean, you can do anything.
And if anyone's worried as well, with my casino winnings, I actually went off and bought my life jacket and my paddle and all my cabling and all my wiring, my harness, and I've got a para kite there as well. That's actually a big kite. And there's my land board, so I can actually go across the beach on my little land board. I put my Lichtenberg onto it as well. So if anybody's worried, don't worry about me. I'm all safe. I got myself a life jacket and everything. Don't worry.
That's cool. And that's from casino winnings?
Yeah. All of it's from casino. All of it's from the casino winnings. I don't have a job, Steve. I don't have an income from an industry or any persons, really. I might go and do little odd jobs here and there for people. You know what I mean? Just like, but they're not. I don't take money from people. Like, you know what I mean? It's not goods and services. It's just like, I'll do a job for them, and they might do a job for me. Like my mate Peter, he's got a gardening thing, and I went and installed all these cameras, and he was like, "How much do you want?" And I went, "I want my front garden and my side garden all sorting out." He was like, "Okay, we'll do that."
Oh, that's cool.
Do you know what I mean? That's what I do, like, so. And it only took me about 3 hours to actually install it, and I kind of painted it all in as well, like. I gubbed it. Do you know what I mean? I put all the cable installation as well. So yeah, it was all tied in. He turned up because he went off collecting some mower or something, and when he came back he was like, "Is it done?" I was like, "Yeah, I've been sat here for half an hour. Your coffee machine's on the blink. I've had to go and fill the kettle up down the field with the taps sticking. Literally had to go way down a field to go and find a tap with a cone next to it that's sticking out of the ground out of a blue pipe with a tap screwed into the top of it, honestly." And I was like, "Is this how you fill your kettle up out here? Seriously?" So that's because his yard is basically, as I said, the farmland. His yard's in the farmland as you're going out there. So and he's not too far. I could go on the scooter, wouldn't take me long. I could go on the mobility scooter. Yeah, I'm gonna go out too. I'll go out on a little. I'll take my phone with me, and we'll go out on a little tour, and we'll go over to the yard.
Awesome. Sab, are you moving to France anytime soon? I need a boat mate. That's from Joe.
I can get you a dinghy. And a new identity to go with it, but you need to ditch your phone, you need to ditch your life, you need to start. Can you speak any foreign languages by any chance, Joe?
Does Joe know how to speak French? Maybe if you give him enough links, right?
Maybe you could learn to speak some, I don't know. So I've heard Saudi Arabian's quite hard to learn.
Well, it's just like going to where is it?
Albanian?
Kuwait.
Well, yeah. So I was just about to say, well, Albanians, they seem to be getting a pass as well. So maybe if you start to learn that.
They're so like religious hardcore. So I mean, if you're working in Kuwait, you literally have to abide by their religious sort of standpoint. Like women can't show skin, and you can't show affection in public, shit like that, right? I don't know.
But to answer Joe's question properly, as it happens, I go over on the ferry, and I have been, as you know, I lived out there for a few months anyway. It's when I had like some mad epiphanies as well. Like, it's just before I met my wife, is when I went out there. But anyway, I do have a couple of friends out in France, and they have been asking me to go out there this year for the summer, but I've put them off, and I've told them I've got too much stuff to do at home, and I got the family. It's Little Un's first ever summer, so we wanted to do proper camping and summer holidays and all the rest of it. So we've done that. We've set all them. Do you know what I mean? So maybe next year you might actually see me do a couple of videos while I'm in France. Yeah, there's a guy who wants a roof doing. So do you know what I mean? He's going to, because he wants us, me and a couple of other lads, he wants us to go out there and actually do it. He's just tarping it up for the Christmas. So he's just gonna plastic all the roof up for now and go through the winter, and then we'll probably go out and do it properly next year. Is there
a lot of like great places to camp in the UK? There's
lots of places great to do. I suppose everywhere in the world, it's just knowing where they are.
True. Right, true. I mean, most people think, I guess, with the UK, it's like London, and then just
be surprised. You'd be surprised where I've camped. I'm telling you, honestly, on my little travels across the world, you'd be I've camped in a lot of places. I'll tell you. If you know Whitby, I've just shown you there. Where the place I camped on there, you can actually go and Google map that as well. It's on where it goes out, actually, where the estuary starts going out, the river starts, and they've got the little cottages and houses on the hills on the side. There's a smoke shop, there's a kipper's smoke, a fish smoking shop right there, about 3 houses down from where the end of the houses are. And if you look on that, there's like a little tier section at the end, just before it goes off on the hills up to the abbey and the castle at the top and whatnot. I literally camped on that middle section, like the third section. Some little old guy came out and started shouting at us. He's like, "What are you doing down there?" He couldn't get at us. He's in a mobility scooter, for crying out loud. But anyway, I just said, "No, we're just camping here for the night. So we won't have fires and nothing like that. It's just getting our head down and going to sleep." So, and we did that, you know what I mean? And we went off next morning. It was all right. He was gone next morning. But yeah, that's literally where I camped. Literally on the side of the beach, so to speak. Yeah.
I'm looking at Whitby, and it's just a small little place.
Yeah, it's not very big at all. I walked. If you look at the Cleveland Way, you'll see it. There's all sorts. It's right on the sea coast. It's on the northeast coast.
Yeah, it's right on the
beautiful.
northeast
I'll
coast.
not lie. I won't lie to you. It's a beautiful walk. Sands End as well. I camped out in Sands End. There's some tunnels there as well. So from listen, it's from an 1800s ex-used railway system. And there's tunnels there from it as well, and they go like with the cliff edges falling in from where that train line used to be.
Fucking looks beautiful, dude.
Yeah, honestly, I've walked down there. It's beautiful. It is very nice down there.
So,
Joe should know about where the Cleveland Way is because that's pretty much where Joe is. Well, yeah, Wireman Joe, he's on that sort of. He'll know the Cleveland. He's up in that area. He'll know the Cleveland Way.
I'm looking at him like, wow, what's that river that runs through Whitby?
Oh, that's not a river, that's the sea.
Well, you got the sea, and then I noticed there's a river that comes.
I don't know the name of the river.
Oh, river.
Should tell you on the map there.
Esque or whatever. River Esque or whatever.
River Esque. See, Joe knows Cleveland Way. It's quite, like I said, it's about 50 odd miles. It's quite nice. I walked about 36 of it, something like that. 30 odd miles, 35 miles of it I walked. Yeah, and I had a break in between. As you do. But no, it was beautiful, that. I enjoyed it, that. Like I said, doing them tunnels, I went back to them tunnels. I told my dad about them tunnels, and I've been back to them tunnels about 3 or 4 times, and we've walked all the way through them tunnels. It's dark. It's about half a mile. They're about half a mile long as well. So there's like a little curve on the tunnel. So you get about halfway and each end kind of goes dark. But you've got loads of little side tunnels that go off. And some of the side tunnels, literally, you come out of the end of the side tunnel and it's just a cliff face. Woof! Straight down. It's dangerous. Yeah, honestly. So it's they'd be good to explore and do some camera, some photos and stuff like that up there. We were drinking the water that comes through because you've got so much land on top, and then the water was coming through, and it tasted so fresh as well, that water that was coming through. Yeah, Whitby, Sands End, and all the rest of it down there. It's quite nice. Yeah, I've been down there. Very nice. I've been down there loads and loads. When I say loads of times, I mean like I used to live at Salt. If you look at Saltburn's just down the road as well. I lived in Saltburn for about 8 months, 9 months.
That's when I was at
8. Yeah, Saltburn on Sea, Salt and Burn, put together, and that's up by Saltburn on Sea, Saltburn by the sea, wow. And that's literally just down the coast from there as well. And most of the streets are named after crystals and stuff and that,
Dude,
I lived on Pearl Street. I lived at number 27 Pearl Street in Saltburn on Sea.
Oh wow!
And they got a pier. I'll tell you a story about the pier that they've got there as well. I jumped off that pier, and when I was swimming back, I got about halfway back. Tide was fully in, and there was Tampaxes and condoms floating in the water. There was basically sewerage around me, and I was like, nope. And I climbed back up the wires that hold that pier together, and I got big bruises up my arms and stuff from doing that. Yeah. I was just like, I'm not swimming the rest of the way. I climbed up the pier and got back out. I did. What? Horrible it was. But yeah, I've been down. Yeah, been fishing on that pier loads and loads of times. Yeah, been in them casino at the front of it as well and played on them machines. Yeah, it's beautiful down there. That's what I'm saying. I live down there. I used to walk it down to Redcar. It's about 2.5 mile walk down to Redcar. I used to walk that down the beach. Yeah. I was only 18, so I had all the time to kill.
Joe's asking if you ever climbed Mount Nipple. Good old Joe.
Early 2000s it was. I was born in 81. I was born in 81, and I was 18 when I was there, 18 till I was 19. Because when I turned 19, I went to Holland. That's when I went to Holland. So yeah. I was 18. I lived there for about 8 months. It's when I left my dad.
So when you went to Holland, what kind of culture shock did you feel?
I'd had so much going on in my life elsewhere because I'd moved away from it all. It was like peace and solace, but everybody else around me told me I just looked miserable and grumpy and whatnot. And I'm sat there going, "No, I'm not. I'm just stewing over everything I've just left." Do you know what I mean? That's what it was. I'm actually quite happy now. I'm in a nice place at the minute. Like, I feel happy. And then because everybody else was like breaking me out of it, that's when I lived there for about a year and a half.
Okay, in other words, what do you like about Holland?
Do you know what? I loved everything about Holland. I would not have left if it wasn't for the girl that I met when I was there. I wouldn't have left. Yeah, I met a girl while I was there. She was from Colchester in Essex. Her mum and dad had moved to Ireland when she was 14. So when she was 19, living in Ireland for 5 years, growing up in school and everything there, she was like, "Naff this, I'm off to Holland." But then when we was in Holland, we together and that, she said she wanted to go back to Colchester, what she'd missed. So we went and lived in Colchester, and then we went to Ireland. That was another culture shock, and I spent about a year in Ireland. Then my mum passed away, so I came back to it. Yeah. So like, most of it hasn't really been more like my fault per se. I mean, it has. I've made the choice, but opportunities that have been there, and I've just took most opportunities that I've had to move around. I always said I was born in the army. I always said I was going to move around. So
a lot of people wouldn't do that, though, Sab. They wouldn't do that. Move around and go from place to place. They're quite content with where they are, or
comfortable. I'll tell you the truth. A lot of it has been uncomfortable, if that makes sense. Like not knowing where you're going to be next, not having a proper roof above your head, not knowing where your next meal is going to come from. Maybe. Do you know what I mean? I'll be honest and I'll say I've had a lot of people. I've had a guardian angel look out for me somewhere along the line because a lot of people have looked out for me. A lot of people have put me up on the sofa. A lot of people have. Do you know what I mean? Maybe it's just because of who I am. Maybe because I'm open. Maybe because I sit on the fence. I don't pick sides. I don't cause arguments per se, unless somebody's being a complete troll. Do you know what I mean? And then I'll be like. Yeah, and then I'll just put them in the place and I'll move on. It's not, I don't hold grudges, you know what I mean? Like, look at the people that we've got here. We're still here, we still chat, it's one of them, like, kind of like, sometimes you have to back away yourself as well, like, you know what I mean? You have to kind of remove yourself and do what you need to do.
I find it inspirational and find it intriguing when people have, been able to,
Well, look at the skill set it's brought me.
Well, that's what I mean.
Put my hand to pretty much everything. I can do anything, like from building a wall to laying laminate to painting, decorating, everything. Like
I think everybody needs that. Everybody needs that, right? Everybody needs that. Everybody needs that sort of aspect in their life.
I just wish, with the skill set I got and the ambition that I've got as well, which is like we were having a conversation yesterday about if I won that million, there was like £2 million on my casino thing. I was like, oh wow, just give me the option to actually win it. Like, and Dan said as well, he said, what would you do if you won that sort of money? And I said, you know what? One of my dreams is actually setting up like workshops, community workshops around the country to give people that little bit of skill set and that. Do you know what I mean? I wish I could share what I've got basically and give that drive and give that inspiration and give that kind of that little bit of.
Most people wouldn't think about doing that. They wouldn't care about that, and that's why you're unique, and that is so cool, Sab. That you would want to share that sort of.
Why not? We're all human.
No. I agree with you, Sab. I do, and I'm just saying that people just don't think that way, unfortunately. In this day and age, they're all great. To me, most people
too much greed. Yeah, I know. There's too much greed. I don't want for really much more. No, like, look, if I wanted a full-time job, I could go and get a full-time job. if I wanted to further my career, everybody, I know, if you put your mind to it, you can do it. Do you know what I mean? I could work my way up into a little system where I was earning maybe a couple of million quid a year if I really wanted to. If I give up everything else and I just focused on doing something solely. Do you get me? And I just, do you get me? And I only put a couple of free hours like dedicated to the time in the house, and everybody else just had to. And I just went and did that. Yeah, cool. Anybody could do that. Anybody could become like Mark Zuckerberg and just nation themselves off from everybody else in the world and go and do something, earn $1 million, become a recluse.
Yeah.
A lot of people become wrong. A lot of people become wrong as well. And once you've had that $1 million, you need more. That $1 million doesn't last forever.
No.
It might last a couple of 3 years. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't last forever.
No,
And then they need
people,
more. And they want that luxurious lifestyle that they've just got comfortable and familiarized with, and that's it. Like you said, nah,
yeah,
too much.
Which is a scary thing. I mean, most people just don't care, don't want to share. They're happy, they're content in their life, and for the time being. And the thing is, they don't realize that it'll all come to a fucking ruckus halt. It will, no matter what. No matter what, how well off you are. If most of these people don't think about the future, they think about the present, and that's all. Right?
Do you know what? Because I didn't pay much attention at school, and because I took stuff from school and then looked at it from my own perspective outside leaving school at 14, do you know what I mean? Then started looking at stuff myself as a different outside perspective. I already started doing that. What I actually took was, what I took from like history and stuff like that was, in history, pretty much every civilization we've ever known has built up to a peak. Something's happened and it's all collapsed and it's had to start again. Exactly. So I'm just wondering when ours is going to reach its peak. And that's what other people, if you look at videos, this is what a lot of other videos that I've seen are actually talking about as well. They're talking about the familiarities about, like, say, the Roman times, the Egyptian. Do you know what I mean? Where this gender stuff, I'm just going to say this gender stuff, that's it, full stop. That's all I'm going to say. But that kind of, you know what I mean? That kind of like way of life is kind of a spark within. It has a very familiar tone of what happened at the start of the end of a civilization. Previous times, it happens a lot, apparently. It's
part and parcel with having too much time on their hands and nothing else to sort of segregate or sort of complain about or whatever else. But it's like, when will chaos. Complete chaos. When is the U.S. empire going to collapse?
Well, I think taxation is going to be one of the things that sparks it off, because there's so much tax and whatnot, inflation, etc., going on. People just know now across the board that they're being taken the Michael out of. Let's just say that. Do you know what I mean? They're really having the socks pulled, the trousers pulled around the ankles. That's better. Yeah, they really are. Like, and a lot of people just not going to stand for that. So when are they going to abolish the tax system and so on and so forth? When are they going to agree to a new system that happens and works for everybody? If, like, say, for instance, you've got new people coming in, obviously they've got to do something straight away to contribute. You get me? Like, that's what I'm saying. Money doesn't, and I don't want like this non-money digitalized. I'm not thinking that either. I don't want the social credit system I'm thinking bartering system. I'm thinking, like, do you know what I'm saying? Let's reset most of what we got. Most of the systems we got are pretty bloody good, but they're run by greedy and such people, like, and that's what's got us where we are now, like, pretty much. Do you know what I mean? Because they just think for themselves. The offspring and the partners and siblings and other family, etc., etc. Do you know what I mean? So yeah,
it's people who have buying into these stocks, and everything is literally based upon how well these stocks do. It's sad, that things like oil and gold and silver are all based upon how this stock market does. Oh my God, the Dow Jones is down 10%. Oh my God, it's the end of the world.
Follow
Fuck.
the money. Follow the money. You'll soon see what
Well,
people.
that's all it is. That's all it is. And people don't realize there was life before the fucking Dow Jones.
Stock market. Oh, that's a good indicator actually as well. That's another thing people are pointing
Yeah.
out as well. I don't really follow the stock market, but yeah.
You know, it's like how it fluctuates. Oh, the US is going to drop their fucking interest rate quarter of a fucking percent. Oh, the stock market's gonna fucking just go crazy.
Well, have you heard of the new fiat currency that the WF or the United Nations? Oh, I can't think who it is now. You're probably going to have to look this up, whoever it is listening
Well,
as well.
the US has been printing fiat money for
Backs.
years.
Backs is called. Backs. The new
Back.
Backs. BACS. Backs.
Okay.
Backs. Right, go and have a look online for it, and it's a new monetary system. We've got Back's monetary system. Maybe Google that, and you'll see that they're proposing to sell one Backs at $55. And if they get away with doing that, then your shipping industry, etc., your economy, etc., is going to be walloped. Not yours, obviously. You're in Canada. Well, it might even affect you as well. It might affect us. I don't know what's going to happen.
Probably will. You never know.
It's something to keep your eye on anyway. So,
Joe, we were doomed a long time ago. We're all doomed. We were doomed a long time ago.
Agenda 2025 is in full swing, man.
We're all doomed. I mean, you look at the U.S. and the possibility of Trump being, elected again as president. Yeah. Backs. Yeah. I do remember seeing that. And if he gets elected, the tariffs are going to be all over the place because fucking Trump loves tariffs. So the existing tariffs will probably triple. So every country, it's like, well, we want to bring the jobs back to Canada or to the US. But the thing is, you can't do that in this day and age now because everything is so linked in on a global fucking market. So it's fucked up. I don't know.
Just to let you know, by the way, the sun's coming over your way now, coming across the sea. It's just setting now where I am, so it's just coming.
It's overcast. Overcast here today.
Across the water, it comes to you now. So you'll soon, within the next hour or two, you'll soon start. You can see. I'll show you, man, from this angle. So look, this is looking towards Steve. Seriously. The sun is setting that way, see, it's going behind the trees, so that's pointing towards Steve. Now, if Steve points his towards the sun where it's rising towards him, then he's pointing his towards me. Because we're pretty much across the water from each other. Maybe look on the map. Isn't that crazy? England, Canada. I think we're not too far off, are we?
Okay, so I'm going to point in the direction of the UK right now. You point in the direction of Canada. So here we go.
I'm facing it. My head against this wall.
Okay, so I gotta think
facing it now.
I gotta think here for a second. I can't do it because there's a wall there. I can't point towards the UK because there's a wall here. Unfortunately,
do it through the wall.
It's right. It's that way.
I'm sure we're going through the crust of the earth anyway, so don't worry about that.
UK, if I want to go, is that way.
Unless you believe in a flat earth, but even then, you still got hills and stuff. So then we're still going through stuff, aren't we?
Flat Earth. Oh, there's another one. Flat Earth.
What's your take on flat Earth?
Frankie, what's your take on flat Earth?
Go on. What's your true take on it? Right. I'll give you a little, because while you're thinking, I'll just give you a little brief. I entered a room once on YouTube with a group of people. I shan't mention your YouTube channel, but anyway, I got hounded by them as well for a good few months afterwards as well. But when I entered the room, I was asked this very question. So, are you a flatter or are you a baller, basically?
Baller.
Yeah, are you flat earther or do you believe in globe? I was like, I sat there for a second and I was like, my answer straight away was, to be honest with you, I can't give you a true answer because I haven't been up there and looked down and actually seen what's going on. So, for all I know, it could be anything like really. And they were all like, hey, that's a pretty good answer, actually. But
Well, it's true. I mean, it's true. I mean, we all have opinions and everything else based on what people have told us, right? For the most part.
Yeah. Even if you go off historical people have been wrong about stuff as well.
I look at the current. I look at the current state of things, and I have to say,
anything's possible now.
but I mean, flat Earth. I mean, you have these guys. I guess what are they called? I can't think of these guys. They're not flat earthers, but they believe that there's this ice wall.
Yes.
What are they called?
There's a civilization beyond the ice wall.
Exactly. There's a civilization beyond this ice wall that we're not allowed to have any contact with.
Could be possible for all I know, honestly. Now, advanced civilization that was here previously, when a catastrophe happened, they all moved there and they left kind of like our bad people behind. Like, we're what's left of. That's probably why some people have the opinion that we're a prison planet.
But you can go a step further, Sab, and say, look at what we experience is what they want us to experience, is a part of the simulation. We live in a physical world. We believe in tangibility. Everything has to be tangible. So of course you're going to have this fight. Well, is it round or is it flat? Right? When you look at things and say, well, currently my state of understanding is 3-dimensional.
Yeah.
So therefore, to me, the Earth is round. I don't understand the fourth dimension because my brain won't allow me to understand it. I can theorize.
Yeah, we spoke about this. Yeah.
So I mean, realistically, you can sit there and say, well, no, it's round, it's flat. You really don't know. You haven't got a clue because you are within the constructs of what they want you to know. What is provided for you through filters over the course of your upbringing.
I had a good theory earlier on. Was it today or last night? Anyway, I watched a video. There was a good thing in the video. She pointed out and said the timeline or the realm of relativity, the realm of relativity that we live in now is the one that we're stuck into. But let's say, imagine that you're having a 20-minute thought to yourself about what could possibly have been. What the theory is the scientifical evidence recently shows that our minds are actually on a quantum, our brains work on a quantum level, so to speak. Exactly. So when you're sat thinking about what could possibly be, you're actually tapping into that little bit of quantum realm of like what's happening elsewhere in them other realities in the multiverse, etc., etc. Oh yeah. Yeah, you can go off that way as well and start thinking that sort of stuff as well. Like, what if there is multiverses? Like every choice you make is what, like I said, your tangible reality. Well, do you know what I mean? It is. I mean, and that every choice you could go off thing like right now. I could literally end it. Do you know what I mean? I could end what I'm saying right now and just cut you all off and be done. and just walk away and go make a coffee. Do you know what I mean? Like, wouldn't that be somewhere else in another multiverse that just happened because I just did it? Do you know what I mean? It just happened again in a different multiverse because I just thought about doing it again.
Well, I mean, it isn't it a proven fact that scientists have in fact found multiverses? I mean, we have to look at this on a multi-level now, right?
So
It's
wouldn't
not
that
just
go on? Yes, sorry. Yeah,
no,
go on.
go ahead, go ahead.
On a paranormal level, I'm thinking, before I forget about it, do you know what I mean? I'm thinking on a paranormal level, that kind of, if that theory is proven true, it would also, on a certain level, make paranormal true as well. Because you think about that multiverse, every multiverse, on that, like, say, Daniel says there, quantum immortality, you may die in this set reality that you're in, but in that multiverse somewhere, you didn't die.
Well, that's the whole thing. I mean, when you
Somewhere in the multiverse, immortality was created, because obviously that is an option. We obviously think about it, therefore it's an option. Do you get what I'm saying? Like everything that's on, especially on this etherical, what we're perceiving, we're all quantum entangled within this web of reality, because your perception ties in with my perception, and therefore we help to communicate. We know we have an aura of a field around us. That's just our own static electricity that we give off as a being, let's say. So that, and that goes beyond what 3 foot. But if you focus, you can transcend that into a lot bigger. So that tells me obviously there is something that's connecting us to something else. We all know that there's an interwoven electrical atmosphere that we're all sat into. So why wouldn't it make sense that that's a possibility?
I think Daniel brings up
simulation theory.
Daniel brings up a good point. So wouldn't that make death an illusion?
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying. Yeah, the paranormal, because deja vu, etc. When you have a deja vu, that's something that you've already experienced, but somewhere else in a different timeline. But when you experience it, you've caught up to it, or it caught up to you.
Yeah, but realistically, when we look at things, again, we come back. We come back to the tangibility. Everything's tangible. Everything has to be physical. Everything that we know is physical. So when we get rid of the physical aspect of things, and we look at the metaphysical, right? We look at the we look at the metaphysical, and when our physical being dies, our non-physical vessel continues on. Energy is infinite. It doesn't die. It transitions. So that's where you have to look at things. You have to look at where your particular energy transitions into. And that's the question. I mean, do you call it the soul? People will call it the soul. Sure, whatever you want to call it. But the thing is, it's the non-physical aspect, the frequency. We all rely on frequency. Frequencies are all around us. We interact with frequencies, right? So our frequency, when the physical vessel dies, lives on. But where does it go? It's infinite. It's infinite. Where does it go? Is there an archive, as they put it? Quite possibly. When you think of residual hauntings, you hear this quite often. You hear something playing out over and over and over again. There's an example of your energy living on. It's become a part of an archival sort of aspect, or some sort of other domain that we just don't understand right now. But when you look into more and more of the metaphysical, you start to understand what this all means. More so. Anyway, Sab, I have to end this. I got to get going. But this I'm telling you, I want to pick this up maybe later on. I honestly fucking love this. This is great. I love talking about this. I really do.
I'll leave you on a cliffhanger then. Will quantum computing give us an insight into the paranormal realm, or are we being lied to about what quantum computing is?
Or will AI explain things?
Not too keen on that, but it might do.
Either or. But anyways,
Thank you.
guys, take care. Sab, thanks for coming up, buddy. Always great to talk to you, buddy.
Thank you for having me on.
Take care. Later,
Take care and
everyone.
chat.
Later, everyone. Bye.